Hi, we are Team 24040 and we are the model-based electrical diagram and TID generation team. Our project is sponsored by Taylor Price, a manager software engineer at Northrop Grumman, and our mentor for this project is Michael Majert. Now let's meet the team. Starting from left to right, we have Julia Rima, Chase Craver, Rafael Pacheco, Jesus Garcia, and Ricardo Lares. Now let's discuss the background of the project. Currently, when designing an electrical ground support equipment rack, which is also known as an EGSE, the Northrop Grumman engineers must go through a several-step process. Step 1. The electrical engineers must first create the electrical drawing for the EGSE. An example of that electrical drawing is pictured to the right. Step 2. Each component in that diagram must then be manually mapped to tables in a technical interface document, also known as a TID. And step 3. The Northrop Grumman software engineers must then use that TID to generate configuration files. So what is the overall problem? The primary issue is that the handoffs within this process currently can create many inconsistencies that can cause problems during EGSE development. This is largely due to the fact that the process is still very manual. Issues can begin to arise when transferring information from an electrical drawing and manually mapping it to a TID. That leads us to the goal of our project. The team will create a software tool to streamline the handoff process between Northrop Grumman electrical engineers and software engineers. Below is an example of how this will work. The user will be able to upload an electrical drawing. That electrical drawing will be input into our tool, where it will automatically parse through the information on the electrical drawing file. Once our tool has successfully done this, it will generate TID tables, adding in any information it has gathered from the electrical drawing. So why Janus? Janus is the Roman god of beginnings, gates, transitions, doorways, and passages. We elected to name our software tool after Janus to push the idea of the capability of our tool. We picture the electrical drawings as the beginnings being pushed through the gate or doorway and transition from one thing into another, going from electrical drawings into a technical interface document. You will see references of the Roman god Janus throughout our software.
Hello, my name is Ricardo. I'm the software engineer on the team. For the trade studies section, I just wanted to mention what we considered and what research we conducted in order to continue with the project. The three options that we did consider was either creating an extension for Visio, or creating a desktop application for Visio. After some careful considerations and speaking with the sponsor and some research and analysis, we did come to the conclusion that the best viable option for this project was a web application. And that is what we designed and implemented for this project. Some of the challenges that we first faced when deciding to move forward with the design was extracting the information from the Visio files. First thing that we noticed was that when we tried to export the project from Visio directly as a Visio file, Microsoft did encrypt the data, unfortunately, so we had to go through other methods. We exported the file as an HTML file, and we were able to create a software that would parse through the HTML file and extract as much information as we could, and we are using that as a basis for each project within our system. So now that is the basis of our model-based system approach for our technical diagram assistant, and we will move forward with the design. For the system architecture, we chose this design, which is a basic full-stack web application. We separated the system into 4 subsystems: the front-end, database, back-end, and network. Each of the components were chosen and designed in order to overcome the challenges that were discussed before. The front-end is the basic graphical user interfaces that displays the data that is handled in the back-end and pulled from the database. We have some basic pages as login, home page, the edit page, and the ability to import a file and project selection. The database manages the single source of truth, the components, the projects, the file history. Also, the backend handles the logic for the parser, handling the components, the table generation, the TID tables in the database, and the projects. The network is just handling the communication between the front end and the back end using APIs and server to model converters.
When looking at our front-end GUI, we are first shown the login page. Where the user can enter their username and password to gain access to Janus. If the user does not already have an account, they can use the Create Account button right below Submit. This will redirect them to the Sign Up page where they can enter their preferred username and password. If Create Account was selected by accident, the user can select Login to get them back to the login page, where they can enter their existing user information. Once logged in, the user will transition to the home page. On the home page, you'll see you have 2 options in the sidebar navigation: Main Menu and Logout. Logout will redirect you to the login page, while Main Menu will bring you to our designated Main Menu page. From Main Menu, you have a few options. You can go back to the home page, view a current project that you might already be working on, create a new project, select from previous saved projects, or log out.
In summary, our project has effectively addressed the manual inefficiencies present in the company's handoff process between electrical engineers and software engineers. By integrating a model-based diagram approach into a full-stack web application, we have significantly streamlined the labor-intensive task of mapping electrical components to TID tables. Leveraging technologies such as Python Flask Framework, Postgres SQL Database, DevSecOps Pipeline, Docker containerization, our system enables effortless upload, parsing, and database population, culminating in the seamless exportation of TID tables into Word documents.